Hi Big Lap Crew, I'm Mark.
I'm Clem.
This is our little fella Liam and we are from our Whittle adventure. We're also travelling with two kelpies. They're up in the car at the moment, just chilling out because there's a couple of animals roaming around here and they're going a little bit silly. So they're up there chilling out. Well, for me, it was mainly for when Liam came into the picture. I was a bit bored at work. Just a bit over it, and then Liam came along. I felt like I was missing out on so much. I needed a change. And then Clem sort of just said jokingly one day, how about we just pack everything up, move into a caravan and go travelling Australia for a little while. I laughed at first, but then we went, yeah, you know what, let's just do it. So we bought a caravan, 2 weeks later, and 2 months later we took off.
Yeah, so it was pretty full on, but yeah, worth doing. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, which route are we taking? So we started in Perth and we spent a bit of time in WA first, just seeing all the family on both sides, on that side of the country. And then we crossed the Nullarbor, spent almost 3 months in South Australia, and then came up through the middle all the way up to Darwin. We did all the Uluru and stuff like that. And then we've come across into Queensland. So we've done a bit of outback Queensland and now we're in the far north Queensland. So currently we're in the rainforest. We're at a place called Babinda Farm Stay. In Babinda, which is only what, 50-60 k's south of Cairns, I think. We are in Babinda Farm Stay, so we've sort of given ourselves a bit of a backyard. There's a pond down there with geese and ducks and stuff like that. This is beautiful through here. There's a little swimming area. You can just swim in here. It's just a natural stream, and if you go up a little bit, it kind of looks like Babinda boulders, just on a smaller scale. Apparently you get cassowaries through here. We're keeping an eye out. We've only been here a day and we haven't seen any yet, but apparently they do come in onto the property. They've got alpacas here as well, and there's deer farms just down the road, so we might even see some deer while we're here. We have our setup is a car and caravan, so we've got a 2006 model 100 series Land Cruiser, and we've got a 21-foot Road Owl from New Age. It's the Adventurer Plus model, so we've got the independent suspension, the CRS2 from Cruise Master. So plenty of clearance, it handles the dirt roads pretty well. So our car, like I said, 100 series Land Cruiser. It's not usually very clean. Yeah, it's not too bad. Liam's back seat gets pretty trashed. Liam sits back here, and then the dogs have this whole back section to themselves. Hey, don't you puppers? They usually got their beds in there, but their beds are drying out on the front of the van. This is our van, the New Age Road Owl, 21-foot Adventurer Plus. Excuse us, it is washing day today, so we're stripping the beds and stuff like that. But we've got the north-south bed, kitchen, sitting area, bunks. Top bunk is storage for us, bottom bunk is Liam's bed, and we've got like a zip up mesh that we just tuck under the bed when he's not being used. Washing machine, thankfully we can't use it too much when we're off grid like we are now, so we're using the house washing machine over one in the laundry. Shower, we got rid of our fold out door and put a shower curtain in. Toilet and bathroom. There's our ensuite. And I think my favourite part is it's a big fridge, so there's 184 litre fridge. Just a 3-way one. We find it's really efficient on gas. We haven't had a problem yet when it's been too hot. We just put a privacy screen on that side of the van to shade the vents if we need to.
Free camps, definitely. It's just so much easier to manage Liam and the dogs at a free camp as opposed to a caravan park. We've got a highly reactive, anxious kelpie, which is our boy Costa, and he tends to bark at anybody that's walking past or approaching the caravan. So if we can be a little bit further away from people, it makes it a lot easier for us to manage him. And it also gives them room to run around. We can, in some places, get them off the lead to play with the ball, or we take them running almost every day. It's also better for Liam, we found, just a bit more freedom for him.
Yeah, we
He's
don't
got
have to
more room
watch
to
him
run
as
around.
closely if there's not another car or...
He can be at least 10 metres away from us and we can see that he is safe, as opposed to him randomly running out the caravan or annex door right onto the road. So we do prefer free camping. You also get more privacy. Okay, bye Dada. You get more privacy and, I don't know, just a bit more freedom, I guess, and it's just much more peaceful. So we definitely prefer the free camps.
And farmstays, the cheap options of camps.
Oh yes, we love wiki camps and hip camps for finding free camps. Free camps that are also low cost camps, which we love. So anything between $10 and $20. Although we did stay one recently at a station stay for $30 a night, and we would have paid $50 for that view. So definitely worth it. Oh gosh, that's a really tricky question to answer. Best beach camp probably for me would be Mason Bay in WA. That was our first beach camp on our trip, and we absolutely loved it. And I think what we loved most about it was just realising the freedom that we had in our caravan. The beach was only 20 metres away and we could come home at the end of every swim for a hot shower. So yeah, we really loved Mason Bay. It was also really quiet there, which was great, and the water was clear and the sand was white, and it was lovely and sunny, and it was dog friendly. So we could get the dogs off the lead for a hack, which was good.
And I think my favourite one was Palubi Beach, and I think that's on the top of most people's list. And there's reason why. We weren't lucky enough to score one of those gazebos that you see in some of the Instagram posts.
Yeah.
We were a little bit further down the beach, but it meant we had a little bit more space. The dogs were allowed off lead further down the beach.
Wow.
So it was just incredible just to wake up, be on the beach. We met some incredible people. We had some really good neighbours. And we had the perfect weather. It was hot, so we just spent all day, every day in the water. It was unreal.
What's our favourite non-beach camp?
I'll get him.
No, I'll get him. He's after this one.
I think my favourite non-beach camp is probably the one that we just stayed at. It was called Woodley Station. It's in the Atherton Tablelands, not too far from the Inot Hot Springs. So we stayed there. We only did 2 nights there, but I could have stayed longer. We were right on the river. There's a cattle station, I think, but we didn't see or hear anyone else while we were there. We had horses just roaming around free, came right in up to the caravan. There were cows cruising around. There was a rope swing. There was no crocs in the river, so you could swing comfortably. That just ticked all the boxes. And we had a campfire, did a big cook-up. Unreal. For me, this area. I'm a sucker for the rainforest. Growing up in WA, well, both of us did. It's quite desert-like, where desert sort of meets the sea rather than where rainforest meets the sea. Just so to be surrounded by the tropics like this, this is my sort of favourite place. Do you have a favourite place in Australia that we've been so far?
I really like being out in the desert.
Did you?
Yeah, I love the Oodnadatta track. I think I like
that
the
was
adventure of it, and also experiencing the Olgas in the Red Centre was insanely cool.
Actually, yeah, the Olgas,
Yeah.
they live in the shadow of Uluru, but the Olgas are something special. And Kings Canyon. Oh.
We loved Kings Canyon, especially the rim
That's
walk.
something I'll
It
rave
was
about for a long
insane.
time.
Yeah, so highly recommend that if you haven't done that yet. Mark says he didn't really rate Cooper.
Like, it's pretty cool what they've done in the underground and stuff like that, but
We probably stayed. We probably stayed a little too long in Cooper Pedy, but we needed to do some repairs on the van.
yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't what I expected, and it just didn't sort of tick the boxes for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not to say I won't go back there,
We'll
but it's
probably
probably
go back at some point because it's sort of like that on the highway, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we'll end up there.
It's just not somewhere that I will rush back to.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't go back to York Peninsula in the time that we were there. I think if we were going back to the York Peninsula, we'd have to go in the dead middle of summer because it had just got into a cold snap when we got there, and it was raining and it was freezing, and we didn't really get to experience it for what we wanted it to be. So I don't think we'll go back there at that time of year, but I'd love to explore it in summer.
For me, it's Cape York.
Yeah, Cape York, definitely.
So we've got a couple of things to sort out before we get there on the car and the van.
And it's probably a few weeks away from now as well. We've got some things planned over the next few weeks.
Some really exciting things to get up to over the next couple of weeks.
Really want to see the Daintree properly, which is actually happening next weekend. So can't wait for that.
Dogs are going into a kennel so we can go into the rainforest, into the national park.
It's only for 3 nights though, so that'll be fine. Also cannot wait to get over to the Kimberley. I did it when I was a kid, but I've got such good memories of the place, and I can't wait to take Mark and Liam and the dogs there up to the Gibb River Road and experience that part of the world.
I've lived in WA my whole life and never been that far. Yes, we travel with 2 kelpies. They're both 9, so they're actually very well behaved and very well travelled. Costa, he was a rescue pup, and he's got a lot better as he's got older, but he's still very anxious around new people and if other dogs will come near him on a lead.
But if you put Costa and Kiri completely separate, they're great dogs.
Yeah, they form like a pack mentality.
They're a terrors when they're terrors? Menace?
Terrors.
Terrors. They're terrors when they're together.
They are a little bit. So we separate them a bit. I think it's a bit much to be stuck within a lead's distance of each other all the time.
Yes, so.
But they're very good dogs. And yes, look, it does limit you to what you can do. We struggle to do national parks. If anything, we'll just do day trips and just take it in turns. Someone will stay back at the van, catch up on things.
Which is actually kind of nice because that means you get your downtime as well. Yeah, which is lovely.
Your own time. And like to do touristy things, but that's not what this trip was for us anyway. We wanted to see the country. We didn't want to see all the tourist options around the country. So yes, we do a couple, but if we miss out because we can't organise something for the dogs, then so be it.
We're staying in Port Lincoln and we were there for about 6 weeks because we picked up some work locally and we had to do some repairs and stuff, and we're waiting for our annex to arrive. Anywho, Mark had taken the toilet cassette to go and empty it and run some errands in town, and I was doing some chores inside the van with Liam. And he was quiet for a little while, and I had, you know, those packs of balls that you get at Kmart, like the plastic ones, the coloured balls?
Like you get in a ball pit.
Like you get in a ball pit. I go into the loo and Liam's posting the balls down the toilet cassette, or down the toilet. The cassette wasn't there, thank God, but that was really funny. Maybe we'll send them that clip too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You can only laugh. I mean, we could have cried a lot, but we laughed instead. I don't know if we have any times I've been really scared.
No, not scared. Worried a little bit.
Worried,
when
definitely.
we did the track from William Creek up on the Udinadatta up to Cooper Pedy, it was a lot rougher than we expected, and given the time of day, I should have just stopped and let the tyres down some more, but we just rushed.
We got there. And the van was all in one piece on the outside, so that's what counts.
Yeah, but we lost our fridge door and stuff like that.
And the table fell off, and the shower door fell off.
Yeah, so we copped a few internal damage.
Funny,
nothing actually broken. We could put it all back on, but yeah, that was a little bit. Ooh, what did we just do to our home? Yeah, 2 different things.
Coffee.
We don't even have a coffee machine. We drink instant.
We do, yeah.
I think for me, it's probably some of the car's accessories, like the tyre deflators and the tyre compressor. I like the compressor to pump up the tyres.
You're right, mate.
Because that allows us to go sort of everywhere we want to go safely.
Yeah. For me, it's probably the pram, to be honest. The pram. Oh, thanks, babe. I don't know. Just with Liam, when we left, he was only 10 months. 10 months?
11 almost. Yeah.
Almost 11 months old, and he's always been a terrible sleeper. So the pram has been a godsend in terms of taking him out for walks, for naps, or doing walking trails and things. So I use it almost every day. And now that he's getting bigger, sometimes we take the seat off and use it as a trolley, which is really handy as well. So I don't know. Lots of people travel without them, but I'm not ready to give ours up yet. I've already used it today and it's only 9 o'clock, so it's working out pretty well. Okay, so we saved a lot before we left, or we had savings in our account that we didn't, well, we intended it for something else, but we don't know what that was, probably overseas travel. And then yes, we do work on the road. We've stopped for work once, but we didn't really enjoy staying in one place for that long.
It's hard to manage Liam and the dogs solo.
Yeah, so we think we could do it better now that we've got our annex. But I do work as well, so I run an online business that I started a couple of years before Liam was born. It's a professional writing service, and it's adapted over the years, and that's what it is now. So I work solidly 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I also do a few nights here and there depending on what work I've got in as well. So So it's not enough to cover all our expenses, but it does make life a little bit easier. So.
Yeah, it sort of covers our fuel, which is probably our biggest expense. I think we'll get to that shortly. We don't track it. We did do a bit of a look for our account, and we spend what everyone else seems to as well. They're $1,000 a week, but that fluctuates heaps for us. If we're free camping, then there's hardly any accommodation cost. So it's mainly fuel and groceries for us is the main one. And sometimes we're moving heaps, and we'll be filling up every 2 days. Or we'll be parked up in a place like this for a week where we won't need to fill up at all. So yeah, it sort of fluctuates, but between $4,000 and $4,500 a month seems to be pretty well average. But again, we don't really track it. We don't want that stress over our head. We just keep an eye on the bigger number in the account.
Oh God, that's endless. How to drive with a caravan on.
Yeah.
I don't know, we've learned so much about the car and the caravan and what they're capable of. Just tricks and things as well to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's so many things.
As cliche as this is, I think for me it's how big Australia is. I always knew it was big, and I know how big WA is from travelling up and down the WA coast. But when we went to go across to Nullarbor, we were driving for like 4 days and we were still in WA. So yeah, it's really sort of blown me away just how big this place really is. Unless you're doing a big road trip, you can't truly appreciate how big this country is and how diverse it is. Only a week ago, we were in outback Queensland and it was barren and almost dry. And then now...
I know, we're literally in a rainforest.
Yeah, we're getting dripped on.
We're getting dripped on and everything is soggy.
So, yes, I know that sounds a bit cliche, but I think that's me. Probably the annex. Yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah. So it's not a full annex, it's a shade room. So it's sort of made up of the same material as privacy screens, but they can all zip together and make an enclosed room.
And you can use them as privacy screens as well. But for us, it's a whole nother room. It's made life so much easier when we stop. We usually put it up when we're staying somewhere more than 3 nights, I'd say. And it gives the dog somewhere to go where they don't have to be on the lead. Yeah,
they can sort of free roam in the annex. And we leave the door open from the caravan to the annex as well, so everyone can sort of just free go in and out.
Yeah, and it's a playroom for Liam. It's somewhere we can eat outside the caravan. It's been handy in the mornings when one of us needs a lie-in, and then the other one can take Liam and the dogs outside to play and have breakfast without disturbing the other person. Are you drinking my coffee?
Some people say that they've had annexes and never used them, and we get that. We didn't want an annex when we left. We bought it after 3 months of travel, and we do love it. It takes a little bit of extra time to set up and pack up, but it would be no different than if we were travelling in a camper trailer and you had to do that sort of setup and pack up. I'm getting pretty good at putting it up myself, and if I've got Clem's help, if Liam's in a good mood, then we can punch it out pretty quickly. But we use the anti-flat kit all the time, and we use 1, if not 2 of those screens as privacy screens as well. So yeah, we do use it, we do love it.
Yeah, and it's got a wind skirt as well, which is really good for the dogs. Yeah.
Yes.
It is good.
You can have a look. We did a little post about it. You can see out really well, you just can't see in, so it suits us really nicely.
I think the total cost was like $2,900.
Yeah, $2,700 I think.
Yeah, so cheaper than a full annex, but does the same job.
And it's lighter. There's no canvas, so it's 20 kilos for the whole. I think when we left, we were the same as everyone else. We packed way too much stuff. We culled probably 3 times before we left WA. We did the first 6 weeks quite close to home as a bit of a bed-in sort of time. And we culled heaps. We had a beach chair. We did originally start with our push bikes, but
no, it's too hard, to be honest. We really struggle on the bikes with the dogs because they pull on the lead and they like to go really fast, so it's never going to work out.
It's better for us just to go for a run.
Yeah, so we got rid of the bikes, but anything that we bought, no, we're pretty careful with our spending.
Yeah, we don't really buy anything unless we really need it.
I don't think so. We pretty much use everything that we bought.
Yeah. I think we're getting into a groove now. It's been 9.5 months.
Yeah.
If we've got something and we haven't used it for a month, it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Believe it or not, we haven't actually been affected by lockdown
Been very
anywhere.
lucky.
We've managed to dodge it all. All it's done is delay us by about a week, travelling from the NT into Queensland. We had a date that we wanted to do it. Then our travelling party that we were with Clem's parents at the time. They had some car issues, so they delayed us a few days. And then COVID flared up a little bit, and everyone locked the borders. But then by the time we were ready to cross the border anyway, it was only a couple of days away from being lifted anyway. So we were already making our way towards the border, and then it opened and we crossed the next day. So we've been really lucky. We haven't even had a lockdown in the van yet. But I think that's the perks of not really going into the like the cities or the big towns. We spend a lot of time out in the outskirts and those small towns, so we've been pretty fortunate so far. But we're on the east coast now, and they seem to be a little bit more notorious for having COVID flare up, so we'll see how we go. Take it easy. Those first couple of weeks are going to be tricky.
Yeah, really tricky.
I think everyone probably goes through it. For us, it was about 6 weeks. Liam wasn't sleeping well. The dogs were anxious, afraid that we were going to leave them behind, so they were just always under our feet.
We had too much stuff, and we didn't know all the ins and outs of the caravan at that time.
Yeah. So I recommend once you've got your van, you're ready to go, just go somewhere close to home where you still got your family and friends nearby, and just do a bedding period. Just figure everything out.
Like a couple of weeks even, or even do like a month away trip before you do your big rut, just to settle things in.
Yeah, learn how everything works on the van, because when things go wrong, you want to know, where the plumbing goes, how it works, what pump's connected to what tank, where the filters are, how to clean them,
where the batteries are,
where the fuses are. Yeah,
the hot
so
water, gas.
just take your time. Don't rush. I know it's exciting. We did the same. We were so excited. We picked up the van, and a week later, I think we were in it and driving out.
Yeah, it was chaos. Do not recommend.
Yeah, just take your time. Enjoy it for what it is, and know that you won't get to everywhere. We've missed so much on this lap.
We were okay with that, I think.
Yeah, we knew we couldn't get to everything.
Yeah.
So when we get close to somewhere, we don't book or plan anything in our head. So when we get close to somewhere, we start looking around. What do we want to do? What's our highlights? What's our nice to haves, and what's just unrealistic? A good example of that is up in the top end. We were able to do Litchfield just as day trips. Left the dogs with some friends in Darwin, but Kakadu was too hard for us, and I really would love to see Kakadu, but I think we'll just come back.
We were squeezed by time, and I don't know, it was hard to manage the dogs. Like, we didn't know which side of Kakadu to leave them on, and we'd heard that some of the balls were closed because of
late rain
and a couple of funerals and things like that, so it was a bit tricky. Anyway, we decided not to do it, and we'll go back to do it later.
Yeah. So you can't get to everything, but that means you might just have to go for another lap. We hope you enjoyed meeting us. We hope to see a lot of you out on the road in our travels.
Can't see Liam at the
No,
moment.
we've lost our kid again.
So yeah,
we'll leave you to it. Thanks guys.
Cool. Thanks,
See you
guys.
later.
See ya.